He pitches out to Howard. He follows on Ryan into the end zone. Touchdown over the right tackle. And Chicago gets a 2-yard touchdown run by rookie running back Jordan Howard. Drops back to throw. Fourth down. Moves up. Long pass down the middle. Leaping over the shoulder. Catch. Down the middle. It's caught for a touchdown. Stephon Diggs.
Our little NFC North action as we get ready for the Bears and the Vikings. Mark Istook and Bucky Brooks. And look, let's just call a spade, Bucky. If you're a Bears fan right now, you might not exactly want to win this football game because you're playing for some draft positioning. And if you lose, well, look at the Bears right there, sitting at the third spot, and maybe San Francisco wins and the Bears lose, and you see a little switch up there at the top.
Yeah, it has to be exciting if you're a Bears fan because you think about the possibilities. Jay Cutler will probably move on at the end of this season, even though there's not necessarily a quarterback in the 2017 class that may merit a top 5 pick. Certainly, if you're a team in need of a quarterback, you have your pick when you're sitting in the top 5.
Yeah, you just have a lot more power when you're higher up on the board than when you're lower.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that quarterback position because you mentioned Jay Cutler potentially moving on. You got a guy in Matt Barkley who has shown some moments this year, but this game against the Vikings, is he playing for a starting job in 2017?
No, I don't necessarily think he's playing for a starting job, but I do believe he could be playing for a backup spot for the Chicago Bears. I know when you look at the numbers, particularly coming off a 5-interception performance, you're thinking that maybe he can't get it done. But I think people have been impressed because Matt Barkley's had an opportunity to play. He's shown some good things, and he doesn't have necessarily the supporting cast around him to allow him to play to the strengths of his game. If I'm John Fox and Ryan Pace, I do believe he can be a nice number 2 quarterback. I think you want something that is a little better, though, for your long-term future if you're looking at the quarterback spot.
I think you're right, though. It has been hard to kind of evaluate him on an island because he hasn't had the surrounding cast. But when you look ahead to this football game, what do you think is the most important matchup that's going to determine the outcome?
Well, I mean, I think it goes down to Jordan Howard playing against the Vikings defensive front 7. Jordan Howard's been a find for them, coming in the 5th round, being a guy that's been productive over 1,000 yards, being very, very effective, not only as a runner but as a receiver out the backfield. I think you have some positive things to build on going into next year. For the Minnesota Vikings, you want to finish the season on a strong note. Front 7 is talented. They're athletic. Eric Kendrick kind of paces that group. If they can shut down Jordan Howard, I think you can kind of build some positive things going into the offseason.
Yeah, you get a feeling that even though the Bears are playing maybe for draft positioning, if you're the Vikings, a team that started out certainly a prideful way, 5-0, you want to win this football game. What's the X factor that's going to determine whether or not they get a W?
For Minnesota, it's Stephon Diggs. I know we like to beat up Sam Bradford and say that he hasn't played well, but Stephon Diggs and he have some nice chemistry. Stephon Diggs, to me, is their number 1 receiver. He's a guy that certainly has some potential. Came into the league, and there you see he's just short of 1,000 yards. Maybe he goes over the 1,000-yard mark this season. He's someone that's talented. They got to get other pieces around him, guys, to play well. But he is someone that can be dangerous and spectacular with Sam Bradford throwing the ball to him. Let's see how they finish up. Sam Bradford is completing over 70% of his passes.
Yeah, you're right. He's threatening Drew Brees' single-season mark.
Unbelievable, huh?
Yeah. So does he best that mark this week with a win? What's your prediction?
Yeah, I think he bested with a win. I think the Minnesota Vikings finish the season positively. I think they have some good things to go into the offseason talking about. Sam Bradford has played well. You have to make that decision on who's going to be the starter going forward. But I think the Vikings win this game and finish it right.
All right, you say Vikings right there. I see Mark with Vikings, too. We'll find out if we're right on the couch. Game Day Blitz on Sunday. What a way to finish off the season. Week 17, Vikings and the Bears.